Hello and welcome to the 6-1 Indie Showcase post show for May 2025. Mike here, along with Becca
Hello.
and Kyle
And Mike.
and me, Kyle Vamp. I gotta turn my fan off.
Like I was like, all right, we're ready to go. Cool, let's press live. All right, hold on.
I forgot.
There
There you go. Perfect vamping. How are we feeling? Clearly, Becca, you are feeling 100% wonderful.
I have a cold, but I couldn't miss this.
You sound like a poor Victorian child looking for her mother.
I know.
We're gonna keep it short and sweet. Granted, hard to do with 48 video games that we just showed off that we want to give a shout out to, but we're gonna do our best. First off, how are we feeling post showcase? Granted, weird time loop. We're recording this on May 20th. Showcase is happening May 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Becca, how are you feeling? Kyle and I touched about this during the behind the scenes stuff that's available on patreon.com/61indie. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like I did a lot, and I feel like these devs deserved it. So I feel really good about it. There's lots of interviews up with like more of the behind the scenes than you might have been able to get just by kind of doing your own deep dive on Steam pages and things. So there's lots of good stuff in there. There's a handful of previews as well for some of the demos. I played most of the games in the showcase, but I only had time to get out a handful of previews. So and I'll try to get more previews out throughout the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I feel pretty good. There's lots of content to see.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you are feeling in perfect health with your voice being 100%.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do a lot of the talking since you played a lot of these games.
I have a water and I have some cough drops and I have tissues. I'm good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
We'll touch on why these games pique their interest as well. And
yeah.
why we in the showcase.
Yeah. Like what went into like the curation process here and why. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have the show. If you're watching the video version, I have the showcase file here open. So we're just gonna scrub through the showcase and go through game by game. The first of the pre-show games, Goooo Pizza, delivering pizza to the space station. Boss, this is just not right by Anomaly Games. No, Anomaly Guys. My apologies.
Which really quickly, if you haven't watched the showcase yet, go watch that and then come back.
Oh, sorry, spoilers, just in case. Yeah. You should watch the showcase first and then come back here. I should have mentioned that.
Yeah. So
I mean,
PD's Play Now pre-show is all games that are already out that we feel are overlooked. So that's why we have this little section here. I mean, what is there to say about Goooo Pizza and the long subtitle that I just forgot?
We are biased, obviously. It's a little pigeon game. Obviously, it's going to open the show.
Million% it is. And it looks like it's that fun, difficult games such as like a Getting Over It or what's the other one? Why am I blanking? I mean, Baby Steps hasn't been out yet, but like similar to like tough platforming, you're gonna lose progress if you happen to, get hit by a cable car like we just saw in the trailer. So it looks like a ton of fun. And yes, we are biased. It stars a pigeon, so of course.
Yeah, the funny thing about showcase production and working in the video game industry, you don't have a lot of time to play the video games. This is one I'm very excited to check out. I love little cute platformers, obviously biased with the pigeon. Becca, you got anything, or are you saving your voice?
I'm saving for the ones I've gotten a chance to play.
Great. We'll go right into Lonely Mountain Snow Riders from Megagon Industries. I feel like this was it could be perceived as a weird pick because this was like, it hit Game Pass and I feel like it got a lot of visibility on it. Mm-hmm. When we were going through submissions and they submitted something that the devs mentioned was despite Game Pass visibility dropped and like they weren't doing so hot sales wise and they could have really used the boost. And I played a bit of it when it first hit Game Pass. It feels great. I love snowboarding, skiing, like just downhill jam kind of games. Their previous game also the
I love the BMX one.
Bikes. It's fantastic.
Downhill Jam? No.
Downhill Jam. I believe Downhill Jam very much captures the spirit of the original and it feels great. It has a bit of a learning curve to it, but it feels great. So I'm glad we were able to signal boost it because I feel like that's the we during the behind the scenes portion, we discussed our internal qualms about going in May because we don't know how to read calculators, calendars. But I'm glad we were able to do this just ahead of the Summer Game Fest season, because a lot of these like first half of the year games, I'm sure, get overlooked and forgotten quite easily. So
first one is just Downhill. And
Downhill,
I
thank you.
Played a bunch
Downhill
of
Jam's the Tony Hawk game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Games are great. Downhill was great to play. It felt great. So I've not checked out Snow Riders yet, but they make great stuff.
It's so simple, but it's really wonderful. It's like relaxing and stressful at the same time. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Next up, we got Leftovers KO from Fear-demic.
Talk about an instant yes. I want this
automatic yes. Just Adult Swim, Fever Dream, Mike Tyson's Punch Out kind of game. Yeah. Let's go.
Punch Out was like one of my earliest memories of games that I ever played with my dad. And I've been yearning for more of this. There was one, I think, Thunder Ray, that came out like within the last year or two, which was good. It felt great, but it was just way too short. And this is the exact kind of like weird take on it that I'm absolutely into.
Yeah, there's also I know the other one is like, I think it's Big Boy Boxing that's also looming, but yeah, it's just weird. I like the weird Adult Swim style, the Cartoon Network style. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out.
It's really hard.
Is it?
if you're not used to that kind of control scheme, it's really hard. But there is a tutorial where you can kind of go in and just like practice moves as long as you want. So that's kind of how I got past the first couple of things that are available in the demo. But yeah, it's really brutal. But it's also wonderful. It's hilarious. I love it.
And yeah, one of the early immediate yeses.
Yeah.
Next up, Equinox Homecoming from Blue Scarab Entertainment. So
yay!
I'm so glad we do these post shows so we can like talk about like the process of like our internal thinking of vetting these games. So when Blue Scarab pitched this game to us and submitted, there was nothing there. They just submitted the pitch deck. There was no footage. There was no trailer. But the pitch deck had like a lot of the horse riding that you're seeing here on screen. It was very much the Barbie's Dream House horse adventure kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then so one slide was very much that, and one slide was very much True Detective. And we were like, what the ever living hell is this video game?
In addition to people that have worked on Helldivers too.
and like World of Warcraft. I was hesitant because it's hard to greenlight a game without seeing it in action. Like we need to see, I feel like sometimes, like usually we need to see something. But Becca and Kyle very much were like,
Matt too. We were all
and Matt were very much, guys, just trust it. Just trust it. And I'm very happy we trusted it.
My favorite thing that happened when we were deciding on our finals for the showcase is just like a little behind the scenes look of how we do things. We were going through the list and we had kind of finalized, and Mike was like, you guys know Equinox is still on the list, right? And we were like, obviously. like there was no question in our minds as soon as we saw it that it just had to be included.
And I will fully admit, because we didn't see any footage beforehand, so if you happen to see this trailer earlier, this isn't a brand new trailer for the showcase, but when we were watching it, I think it popped up like on IGN a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And it started out and we're like, okay, yeah, they're nailing the horse stuff. Cool. Great. Yeah. Cool. Let's hope it makes that turn into the promise of what that pitch deck was.
And goddamn,
the moment we saw the static, we're like, oh yes, Mike and I had
we cheered.
Yeah,
like, yeah, so cool. Awesome.
So I played a very early build of the game that they sent over for us, which was really nice because it gave me a better idea of like kind of what to expect. And I can tell that it's going to be a lot different because it's an MMORPG. So what I played was just I'm solo and I'm just kind of wandering around in the world, and this is very much meant to be a multiplayer experience. But it didn't really get too much into the occult stuff, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that stuff all plays out. But in terms of just like exploration and story and things like that, I think that they've really established something really cool right from the very beginning, just like a really good mystery right from the very beginning. So it's going to be really good. And I did a bunch of horse races and I kick ass, so just saying.
Hell yeah. I do love this quote on their Steam page from Games Radar. Quote, I'm dizzy over how perfectly Blue Scarab seems to understand its chosen audience. It's us, the horses and the sickos. Next up, we have somebody that submitted to a previous showcase and it like just missed the cut, I think once or twice, just because of how many goddamn games we got submitted and how many hard decisions we have to make. Layla from Umbra Studios.
I am so happy to finally have this on a 6-1 showcase.
Yeah, we figured because it was launching, obviously, like this was the final chance to get it in. We're like, okay, it's in pre-show. Like, yes.
Like Mike said, it was just on the cusp of making it. I think for like both showcases last year.
I think both last year.
Like it was so close. And just off this trailer alone, it just looks like it's telling such a very important story. And the narrative looks very engrossing, and the visuals are matching that as well. Like, I cannot wait to dive into this as soon as I can.
Same. Beck, did you play this one?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm excited for May 22nd to be behind us, so I could
so we can
like
catch
a lot
up.
of these games, so I could play this properly, like sit down and play it. Next up, we got Muffles Life Sentence, Bossy Pino. Bossy Pino.
I think Pino.
You've played the most of this, Becky. You played the previous episodes, I believe, that were already out.
I just played one, the first one.
I feel like the big question a lot of people are going to ask when they see this trailer, what the hell is this game? Looks great, but what the hell is it?
So it's like a roguelike deck builder, and then it's also like a little bit of exploration and story based. There's a little bit of everything. You kind of wander around in the first episode. You start out in like prison, and you're like kind of wandering around talking to people, and you collect things, and you learn how to do the main deck building mechanics and stuff. And if you've played deck builders before, and I've played countless, Slay the Spire, things like that, then like you've got the gist of what to expect in there. But yeah, it has RPG elements. But then the main like combat mechanic is like a deck builder. And I think the coolest thing is, one of the coolest things about it is that each episode has like a different color scheme. So the first episode, it was like red and yellowish. And then the second episode is like purple and yellow. And then I think the third one is going to be like green. I don't know, insert color here. But each one is a different color. And I think that's really cool and really unique.
Yeah. Again, excited to dig in when I find the time. And closing off the pre-show, another game we were trying to get into one of these showcases for quite some time now. Frammakers revealed that the trio from Bug Fables are now available as assist trophies in the game. If you're unfamiliar with Frammakers, it's indie Smash Bros. So all-star cast of indie game mascots all fighting. So yeah, Bug Fables now in the game. I haven't had a chance to play Frammakers yet. I've been wanting to dig into it since like it initially launched. I just have not.
Also, I feel like the indie scene as a whole, and people who play indie games, don't know a whole lot about Frammakers or know that this game exists. Or you can play like Octodad.
I think like the Frammakers, like I think similar to Rainworld, like the Frammakers sickos,
1,000,000%. There's a dedicated community for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited to dig into it.
But if you like Smash, you should like Fretless.
You like Smash. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen momentarily. And I'm going to have Kyle and Becca vamp for a little bit because I realized this is an early cut of the showcase.
Oh, I see.
What does that mean?
It's things that are beyond the pre-show, not correct.
It's like not the finalized version.
Yeah.
I see.
Kyle, talk about the importance of doing the pre-show, since the pre-show was your baby when you're the one that thought of doing the pre-show.
I guess it was my baby.
It definitely was.
The reason why we wanted in there, and we realized there's a a stigma attached to it, but I forgot when the first one was. But we had so many overwhelming submissions that we wanted to get in the show. We're like, well, what's the worst thing in the world if we have a pre-show where we highlight games that are already out? Because the games look awesome. They're not getting the love it deserves. And we did it, and it fit the vibe. And I think that's why it's so important to include it in our showcases, because how many games come out a day, Becca? How many press releases do we get in inboxes every single day about
dozens
new games?
and dozens.
So games are very often overlooked, especially on the smaller side of things. So why not take 10 minutes out of a show and highlight between like 7 to 10 games that have already come out and we think people should play because they look really cool, or in some instances we have played them and we think they're worth your time. Yeah, I think that is something other people should do in their showcases as well. It's very much like Andy in Toy Story when the new toy shows up and they drop the old things and it's old news. Like, it's only been a few weeks for some of these games and people have already forgotten about them. So it's cool that we're using our platform to help highlight them.
Yeah, I was resistant to pre-shows for a long time. I forgot what was the first one last March?
I think so. I think we've done 2 now.
Because you mentioned like there is a stigma with pre-shows where like people just don't care to watch them and they were like, pre-show, whatever, it's just probably a bunch of ads and thanking sponsors and whatever, they'll just tune into the main show. There are times where when there is a pre-show, it's just not advertised or it's not advertised correctly. So yeah, I think when Kyle brought up the idea, I was very particular that we had to do it correctly. So I like that we are doing it specifically for games that have just released in the past, like usually like 6 months. That's kind of like our sweet spot, our window. And yeah, just kind of breaking the mold of video game showcases should not just be for the hype of things coming out. They should still reflect the important or the impactful games that did hit recently, but let's say because of an Oblivion remake self-dropping or Doom Eternal or whatever other AAA stuff that like controls the airwaves for months at a time. Sometimes it's a bummer that things just get overlooked and that's it. So yeah, we try to give games a second shot of adrenaline to hopefully, I don't know, give it a second wind especially leading into like the summer event season where there's going to be so much noise out there in the coming weeks. Good noise, like noise that we're very excited about, but like noise nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle of brand new shiny things.
Yeah, sure is. Speaking of brand new shiny things, I got the brand new shiny showcase.
Hey,
now downloaded. The main showcase opens up with the world premiere of Truth Scrapper from our friend at Insert Disc 5, or friend at Insert Disc 5, Solodev.
What was this the first one that you locked in?
I believe so. I believe so. So there were the way we do submissions, like obviously we open up submissions and go through them every week or so to whittle that on a list and check out all these like incredible games that are coming out. But usually before that, I always have my eyes on socials. I always have my eyes on like TikTok, Blue Sky to see like what people maybe are talking about or starting to tease stuff. Or let's say like Adrian, for example, was like, I'm working on my new project. It looks cool, blah, blah, blah. Not to blah, 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 Adrian. My bad. I didn't mean it like that. But I noticed that Adrian started skeeting about now Truth Scrapper. And I just kind of shot my shot with them. I was like, hey, if you think you'd be ready to talk about your next project around May time, would love to have it on the show. Then they had to kind of coordinate with their marketing folks and like people kind of controlling like PR beats and whatnot. And the stars aligned and we were able to, I would say, get probably our biggest like opener world premiere, arguably, of our showcase's history.
I would agree.
Stars in Time was one hell of an impactful indie the year it came out, and I'm so grateful that we got to world premiere the follow-up.
nominated or in Stars in Time nominated for Indie Game Award. So people love that game and got a really big pop when we did the in-person preview at PAX East.
I was sitting right behind Jenny from Wholesome Games, and she turned around when In Stars and Time popped up and almost smacked me. So very grateful we got that Adrian was kind enough to allow us to do the world premiere for this. Definitely means the world to
not even just allowing us to world premiere the game, but then also coming on screen and talking about it a little bit more, than kicking it to us to start the full thing. Super
special.
Very, very cool.
But yeah, I'm very excited to play this. I think anything Adrian touches is gold, so all about it.
Yeah.
Becca, you got anything?
I was just gonna say, an amazing storyteller, so I'm really excited that we're getting like a visual novel. Like it's just gonna be more story than before, and I think that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. Agreed. Next up, we got a bunch of schmucks on screen. Followed by these two morons. Followed by Shadows of Chroma Tower by Double Dash Studios. What we say in the script, probably one of the most lush, vibrant, beautiful dungeon crawlers you will ever see. This thing looks incredible. It's loaded on my Steam Deck. I have not touched it yet, or the early build that the devs were kind enough to hand us. This is wholeheartedly my goddamn jam. I think lately I've been thinking a lot about Severed from Drinkbox. Coming out of PAX East, we just played Lurks Within Walls, which is a dungeon crawler. I am in. I'm ready. I'm digging through. I'm ready to crawl these dungeons. Shadows of Chroma Tower looks sick as fuck.
Another very early on, like, absolutely yes. It's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Looks incredible.
Becca? Nothing. Okay.
Sorry. I do really like it. I think the color palette is really cool. I also have it loaded on my Steam Deck, but haven't had a chance to get to it.
Next up, Artist Impact by not that developer anymore. They are spinning off into a new dev. Sorry, I'm not prepared. MAS. Something we've seen at a previous, I believe it was like a mix showcase or a day of the devs. But yeah, they're ready to reveal their release date for us, which super stoked about. There's a few moments in this trailer that caught us off guard of showing off a mechanic that's like mechanic that's very Mario Paint like. It looks like you're drawing your attack. Yeah, it looks like you're drawing your attacks, which is so sick. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, I love the look of this. It just looks so unique, and it's like it like reminds you of a bunch of things, but also like absolutely nothing that you've ever played. And I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see how the full version looks.
Yeah, I'm excited to play the full version. I think it's gonna, pending, hopefully it doesn't get buried or anything like that, but I think it's gonna be a pretty big hit for the audiences that it's really going for. August 7th. Thank you.
I think I just realized what that stuff was. I don't think that is a gameplay mechanic. I think that's just them showing how they drew the environments and characters.
Is it?
I believe so.
That's hilarious.
A little bit behind the scenes here.
Okay.
They are now a client of ours at Vicarious, and so I've learned a little bit more. It is all hand drawn pixel art. So
so it's just hand drawn,
showing off them making all the assets or whatever. That just clicked
not
in
gonna
my
lie.
brain as we were watching it here.
No, great clarification. Not gonna lie, I'm grateful because I feel like I would have been too dumb to draw my own attacks.
Absolutely.
Ambitious mechanic, but
yeah,
no, looks incredible. I can't wait to check it out. Next up, 1,000 Deaths from Pariah Interactive, a game that Harry and I played at Play NYC 22, 23, something like that. A super early build when I was still living in New York. It is just a wild platformer. Think like man, I don't even know how to really describe it. Yeah, like it's very Monkey Ball-esque, where it's just a very much stage-based challenge platforming. It feels great. It looks great. It's chaotic as all hell. I love just how trippy it all is. And yeah, the biggest thing, it feels great. Even back in 2022, 2023 when we played it. Like they got that feel down. I was really stoked to see them submit because I always like to include like folks that we're familiar with, or again being biased, New York developers.
Yeah. And
it still plays really well, by the way. I played the demo just recently. And sorry if you can hear kids in the background. I'm trying to mute myself to prevent. But yeah, I played just a couple. The demo was pretty short, but I played just a couple of different levels, and it reminded me of like Crash Bandicoot 3 and Spyro and like classics like that. It still plays. It plays super well, and a cool mechanic is there's certain levels where you can like walk off the edge, and the camera like changes and you move, and then you're suddenly walking like down, and so it's like a really cool way that they've created this 3D environment. I really like it.
Hell yeah.
Also, I want to use this moment as just if you're listening to this and you're watching it and you hear Mike say like Harry and Mike played this at a Play NYC local gaming event in New York City. If you have one close to you, go there and check out like incredible new things. Because like there's been so many really cool things that we've had a chance to play at that very small one here in New York City, filled with incredibly talented game devs, like students who are just graduating from school and have their games there. Like if you have one nearby, go check them out because they're well worth your time.
Yeah, chances are you have like even if it's like the smallest thing in the world, like you have a local game dev scene. So like just look up like usually like I found this is a weird recommendation. I usually found like Eventbrite sometimes is like a pretty good pull. Just type in video games, see what pops up. Maybe you see like there's a game jam. Maybe you see there's like a demo night or something like that. I will say if you are in the New York area, at Brookland every first Thursday, if you are a developer, they do Playcrafting and Brookland host indie dev nights at the bar. So you go check that out. And Kyle mentioned small event like Play NYC. It got significantly bigger since then. They are now part of Anime NYC, which is happening in August. So I cannot recommend checking that out enough. If you're closer to like my area here in Raleigh has an incredible indie dev scene. I know Oak City Gamers, I think is the group that they do like local like indie events and stuff like that. And during SGF weekends in a couple weeks, there's a brand new game convention in Raleigh hosted by Hidden Block Games and Raleigh Retro Gamers. So yeah, lots happening in cities near you. So
yeah,
check it. Next up, my fever dream of a game. God bless you, Alto Bobo Bay by New Future Kids.
This is I was like, all right, Mike, you can have this one.
Yeah, this is my one. My I gotta put my foot down. We have to. I was ready to be like, listen, I know I'm the Sonic Adventure 2 sicko, the Chow sicko. I'm good to let it go. Shout out to you guys for recognizing the hype.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Like seeing this trailer, it looks so cute and fun to play. There's so much in this too. Like I think another really awesome moment from the preview event is when are the in this game, are they called Bobos? Is that why it's called Bobo Bay?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
When a Bobo just pulls out a gun and they're like, whoa, what? Right there. Like there's so much that you can do in this game seemingly, and just that little kind of moment there of the main character running around with their arms out like they're flying through the streets is so cute to me. This looks like a good time.
Yeah, can't wait. During the preview event, I made sure to get up and stare at Matt Storm because I know he's a fellow Chow Garden sicko, and we've also been craving some food, some substance from the Sonic team. So glad that happened. And Kate from No Small Games made her cry. Because of how cute they are. Yep. Next up,
Becca,
alumni.
Really quick, you don't have to answer now.
My apologies.
Obviously, because there's ruckus happening in the Becca Smith household.
That's why I skipped ahead.
That's it.
Feel free to shout out if any of these are interviews that will be up on day.
Oh yeah, Bobo Bay has an interview. Some of the other ones that we've talked about will have interviews, but Bobo Bay has an interview. Yes.
You would think our 6-1 we'd have a more structured thing for this post show.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I only rolled out of bed and put my face on like an hour ago.
Showcase alum from our very first showcase opened. No, that's a lie. Almost pseudo opened our very first showcase. Bonnie Bear saves Frog Time from Off Brand Games, and our friends at, oh my god, why am I blanking on the developer name?
Bonte Avon.
Bonte Avon, thank you. Literally, the logo is right there. God, I can't wait for this goddamn game. The Bonte Avon just understand the assignment. Something we always shout out about Bonte Avon is like they leave all of their like outtakes and bloopers into the game, and that just like leans into the credibility and the authenticity of the game and just the joy of making a game. Because the joy of making a game isn't always present. It could be very time consuming. It could be very heart wrenching. It could be very fucking exhausting. So it's nice that they leave in the lighthearted moments like that, break the fourth wall a little bit. And yeah, man, their songwriting, the writing in general, the characters all are hilarious, endearing. Man, it's just a really special studio. And I'm so happy to get a new adventure from them.
I will once again shout out, and I believe it's still on our YouTube channel. Go watch us play Everybody Wham Wham with the devs with us as we're playing. Everybody Wham Wham is one of my favorite gaming experiences I've ever had. It is so fun and it's just a good time. It's hard not to smile when you're playing these games. And like if you're worried about songs getting stuck in your head from playing this game, guess what? Deal with it because they're awesome.
Rick Speck, look at my six pack. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Same with Once Upon a Jester. Once Upon a Jester is an immaculate video game, like one of my favorites in probably the past decade. I do want to give a shout out to Mark from Bonte Avon, probably one of the first like games industry professionals that I've ever met in real life, because Mark is very much a music audio person, and I believe I met him at an audio convention, but like he was demoing like a prototype at, I think it was like Audio Technica was doing something in the gaming space. They had like a very small booth in a corner. So it was like, I always think of that moment as like my first real step from like audio engineering profession into video games. So yeah, Bonte Avon always has a special place in my heart. I'm glad we keep on having the chance to work with them. Next up, Obscuro.
Also, just really quickly, I want to know what Frog Time is.
Glow.
I can tell you. I can tell you if you want me to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's Frog Time?
Feel free to jump in and jive in. That's why I keep moving on. You got to jump in.
So that's why I haven't been jumping in. Frog Time is a mechanic in the game. It's like a mini game. Your friends gift you frogs. You have like a bag of frogs, and there's a game board. And when you play Frog Time, you basically like each frog moves in a specific way or has like a specific ability. And so your frogs are on one side and your enemy's frogs are on the other side. And you're trying to get all of your frogs to their side and they're trying to get all of their frogs to your side. And you have to try and strategize based off of like what frogs you have. But you only have like starter frogs to begin with because that your friends got you like a bag of starter frogs.
Hell yeah. I love Frog Time. Sounds great.
Next up, Obscuro Blossoms Glow from, I have not said the dev's name out loud yet, Hongneon. Hongneon. I am so sorry. It's like a lot of times it's the first time I'm saying words out loud. Man, just a gorgeous looking platformer. I think we're still all like never pilled. So like this is kind of like an easy kind of yes when it came across our feeds.
Yeah, it plays really well and it just kind of sucks you in immediately and you just want to keep going and keep seeing all the different environments and all the different creatures and things like that. And the soundtrack is really lovely as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. Next up, we had Kelsey's strong veto, putting her foot down promptly. Of course, we were all immediately a yes as well because every time we see this, goddamn, look at that water. Cast and Chill from Wombat Brawler.
I feel like we are now in a day and age where the idle games are huge.
Hopping off.
Like
I don't know if this is like necessarily idle. Like
I thought it, and that's why I brought it up. That's why I thought it was. Like I thought it just lives on your PC.
Cozy idle
Cozy idle fishing. Yes, okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Yeah, idle games are popping off. I think it was Indie Game Awards nominee Rusty's retirement.
Yep.
Was that? Yeah, I think that was like the one that really started breaking through, and then like just like people are starting to roll with the genre. Like clearly, there's an audience for it. I think that's a credit to like the work from home culture that we are now living in. So yeah, I'm excited. The devs sent us a build recently. Now there's a demo on Steam, but there is a build that they sent over, and like I keep waiting for like again post showcase to just during my work day.
Yeah,
do some fishing. Very excited. And yeah, goddamn the water. The fidelity of this game is insane.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is crazy.
And got a cute little pup with you. Come on,
cute little pup, cute little man.
Day one.
Next up, our friends Buddy and Monic came through at the the venue when we were filming. It was first off delightful to have them in studio. It makes me want to like if we have the opportunity to work with more local devs, New York based devs, just invite them over to do this because I think it was pretty special. Yeah, they of course introduced Monic's game, Future Vibe Check, developer name being Unwise. An intimidating ass game for Mike Townsend with a simple mind.
Add Kyle Stevenson to that list.
But Monic described it as kind of like a DAW for audio engineers. So like a DAW, digital audio workspace, similar to like, you know, what you do when you record and you have like all your tracks outlined on your screen. That's a DAW. He like compared it very much to that. So I'm intrigued in that lens. Maybe this is the one that kind of clicks me with automation games. Who knows? But man, it's gorgeous. The soundscapes are incredible. The examples you hear in this trailer of like what you can build, pretty wild. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out with the demo drop.
Shout out to Buddy as well in this trailer specifically for helping describe it in a very digestible way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely necessary.
Also, shout out to one of our earliest friends of 620, Billy the Door.
Billy the Door.
Who was also at the preview screening, who loves these kind of games. And I was just staring at him the whole time. I was like, yeah, it's a Billy-ass game. You're going to love this. So, like, Factorio, you know, that style of game, this is for you.
If you want more information, there is an interview up where I tried to ask good questions to get some good information. It's kind of hard.
Great questions.
It's kind of hard with a game like this because a lot of it is like feel the vibe and enjoy the vibe, and it's like, okay, but how do I do that in this game, and in what way? What do you mean? So yeah, I tried to ask some questions to kind of get a little bit more information.
This led straight into our music-y kind of vibe or rhythm vibe, whatever you want to call it. Music-y. Start with Fretless, The Wrath of Riffson from PlayDigis Originals. And then I forgot the developer name because PlayDigis is the publisher, but the dev
I believe it's
Ritual Studios.
Ritual Studios.
We have been fans of Fretless forever.
2-time PAX East Best
2-time
award winner.
Yeah. So it's not, you know, it's out there now, but like when we did when the submission process was going through, this was going to be launching the day of the showcase. So it felt like a match made in heaven. Perfect. But unfortunately, at the last minute they did have to delay. So still worth shouting it out. The game still fucking rocks, and like this cast of composers that they have in here or guest stars, wild. Shout out to Yvette Young from Covet. Hell yeah. Speaking of PAX, Away From Home from Squishy. Cameron, also at the preview event. Because PAX East was so wild, I didn't get a chance to actually play Away From Home at the
same.
I played it.
Did you play it? Cool. Take it away.
I played it. It's really good. I found it really difficult. The rhythm parts like seem super simplistic, but then when you actually get into it, it gets pretty complicated, and there's different abilities and things like that, which I didn't get a chance to touch on a lot in the time that I spent with it. But there's all these different ways that you can kind of upgrade yourself. But yeah, it seems really simplistic because there's only 4 buttons, but it gets pretty complicated. There's shielding and things like that. But I'm also in the interview that I did with the developer. They kind of described how I'm already losing my voice and I haven't even talked that much. He also talks about how it's like pretty open world and can kind of get overwhelmingly open world. So I think that's going to be really interesting, and I think that people are going to find that it's not quite like what they expect from like what the trailer looks like and stuff. It mostly just looks like a rhythm game, but it seems like it's going to have a lot of like classic RPG elements to it and stuff, and you can kind of wander around freely and things like that. So yeah, it's very, very good. It's challenging though.
Had a great little tiny monitor at PAX East too that was showing the game.
That was killer. Yeah.
Like what do you call those, Mike?
Like a tiny CRT.
Tube TVs, like
tiny CRT, tube TV.
Yeah,
it was literally like probably that big.
Yeah, it was like.
And Cameron was like, "Yeah, I could have had like a normal monitor and like show the thing. I'm trying to pause it on the release date, and I keep missing it. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's where I'm at mentally in this showcase cycle. Yeah, Cameron was very much. I gotta concentrate. There it is. Cameron was very much like, yeah, I could have easily had like a bigger monitor to show off the game better for people waiting, but why do the normal thing? I could have a tiny ass screen that captures attention with people walking by, and it was it's for something like a PAX East, you have to do something that stands out, and I'm glad like Cameron A had the foresight to do that and the creativity to do that, but B away from home, very much the kind of game that you could have a lot of fun with in that way.
Yeah.
Great checkpoint also to mention that we accidentally the TV aesthetic for the showcase was decided on in like December 2024. We picked the games and the submissions and stuff. That shit got locked March 2025, and we had no idea a lot of these were gonna be like glitchy VHS aesthetic. Happy accident. Very strange.
Also, a little bit heavy on the creepiness.
It's
throughout, but it's fine. It's fine. I still love everything. It's great.
We love a theme.
Yeah, we love a theme.
Speaking
Next
of,
we got Anatine from Pixel Trash. Lovely little duck platformer with some Ocarina of Times vibes. We saw the little flute with the music notes pop up, and we were like, yeah, obviously, yes.
Look at this little.
Look at this little angry little boy. Yeah,
it looks
great. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah.
So with this one, there's kind of like an Ocarina aspect of things where like you kind of, I wasn't able to play it. He didn't have a build, doesn't have a build ready. He might now. I can't remember. But you use like your musical instrument to fight, and I think that's really cool. And he kind of touched on that in, so you see what I'm doing here, the interview that I wrote when I asked him more about the game. So you
the
can
interview
find
is
out
on 620d.com/showcase.
Yeah, you can find out more about that in the interview. But yeah, it's like super, super cute. I love this one.
And we got to have at least one Metroidvania in the show, and
of course,
awesome looking one.
Yeah, this looks killer. Look at these little freaks. Next up, I have to find my place in the spreadsheet. Scratch the Cat, baby.
Yay!
Flat Ponies. World premiere of Scratch the Cat, 3D musical platformer. Blinks the Time Sweeper. Who? Scratch the Cat, baby. Also, if you like Banjo-Kazooie, if you like obviously the collectathon like platformers, Flat Ponies understands the assignment. They know what's up.
Also want to pull back the curtain a little bit on this one. And it was kind of like a holy shit kind of moment because they made a pitch deck specifically for us. And the 6-1 showcase to show this off. And I thought that was super cool. And so is the game. The game is awesome. I'm a sucker for platformers. The idea of this cat being a DJ and calling him Scratch is very cute. I'm so down. And I also love that they sent over a little video of them at the studio. And like, you know, what studio life is like while they're making the game. It's nice.
Yeah, so obviously a lot of the developers we have hosted on the screen, I was not expecting like a fully edited studio tour. And I really appreciate that. Like, because we always tell the developers who are going to get like those spots to present the games themselves, like I tell them like, hey, webcam, 3DS, I don't give a shit. Just as long as like your authentic selves, have a ball. And a few of them, we'll get to it later, definitely had a ball. But yeah, it was cool to like actually get like a proper like dev diary studio kind of thing.
wasn't this another one that was like Equinox for us, where we didn't have like a concrete trailer until only a couple of weeks ago, and so we were like, it was kind of like a leap of faith. I can't remember. Was it?
Yeah, it was the pitch deck.
Yeah, it was just like a little bit of a pitch deck.
Yeah. Somebody talk about the next thing as I open the window for the painter that's outside my window.
So similar to well, Mike says in the showcase, it's something that he's always wanted to do, and I believe there's still some videos of Mike like doing some video game vinyl stuff on our YouTube channel. But we got to unveil a vinyl for one of last year's best games.
Best games of the year. Yeah.
People love 1,000 Times Resist, and another moment in the little preview event made people cry. This music is something else, and the vinyl looks incredibly beautiful. And I love that everyone asks us like how we're going to keep moving the showcase forward, and like we're doing cool stuff like this by announcing a vinyl, and it's awesome.
Yeah, this was another one similar to Truth Scrapper that early on, because obviously we were talking to Scott from Very Okay Vinyl because he graciously sponsored the Indie Game Awards. So I was always in contact with him because I'm a collector. And I asked, I was like, hey, what do you got cooking? We'll love to have something on the show because he tends to work with some incredible properties. And it was before we opened up submissions. Yeah, it was definitely before we opened up submissions. He was like, well, I'm working on one of the Game of the Year nominees for the Indie Game Awards. I was like, oh. And I think he put like a 1,000, like the 100 emoji or something like that. And I was like, we resistant? And he was like, and he gave me the eyes. So yeah, really super grateful for Scott and of course Sunset Visitor for being cool with us, doing something a little unorthodox for our shows, and like Kyle said, something I've always wanted to do for the showcases. Goddamn, look how pretty they are.
It looks so good.
They really are. The only vinyl I own is one that you gifted me for marrying you and Kelsey for your second wedding.
Yes, my second wedding.
You're the officiant, and I had that one there, but that's the only vinyl I own. But this one,
I hope we get paid. I hope we get paid this week, so I could buy it.
Yeah.
Pre-order today. Next up, another dev who submitted last year, but things didn't work out, and I'm so happy that they resubmitted. Jump the Track from Seed by Seed. It's Peggle. It's fucking Peggle with like a really sick narrative and really cool characters. I cannot wait to play this fucking game, and it's out next week, I think. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want the demo to be over when I was playing the demo.
Such a good sign.
I wanted to keep playing it so badly. The story is so good, and it just I can just tell that the Peggle is gonna get intense, and I'm just gonna love it. Like, I'm a Peglin sicko, and so I'm kind of looking for a new thing to get obsessed with, and this just looks, and it looks so good. The art is so good as well. It's
very pretty.
I can't wait.
Yeah, stoked.
Interview
Seed by Seed. Nice interview as well. Seed by Seed developers Baladins. That was like a fun like little pop or realization during the preview screening at PAX.
There you go. Next week you could play Jump the Track.
So exciting.
Kyle, take it away.
Hey, Scaravan 66. You know it. You love it. If you like Twisted Metal vehicular combat from back in the day, that's this in the form of a roguelike. Full transparency's sake, this is another one of my clients at work. I've been working with them for a little bit. The devs are absolutely lovely human beings. And we had a spot open, and we chose to have Scaravan in here, and I think it's really awesome just because of you play as Lucky D. She died, and she's now like in this purgatory, and you're trying to escape hell. And by doing that, you gotta get rid of the devil's clutches. Gameplay looks fun. The style of it is cool. I love the humor in it. Like the werewolves are called frat wolves, and they're just douchey frat werewolves. It's great. Yeah, Scaravan's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Interview up now as well.
Interview up now
for that one.
Lithic Entertainment, we were, before Kyle started working with them, fans of them for quite some time because they were a part of, I believe it was the first Wholesome Direct or the Wholesome Snack with Bird Problems.
Yeah.
We have no context of where Bird Problems is at.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was just we wanted to offer them the spot because we were fans of the studio, of course, as well.
Yeah. Another one that's coming out soon, July 16th for Scaravan.
Yeah, July 16th. Another one that we confirmed before we opened up submissions, Rogue Eclipse from Husk Crafts. They got some support from Outer Loop as well.
Outer Sloth.
Like Combat. Outer Sloth, what did I say?
Outer Loop.
Outer Sloth, my apologies.
Yes.
Really just sick Flight Combat. I'm a Star Fox sicko. This leans a little more into not simmy, but like definitely not as on rails, definitely more freeform space combat. It looks sick as heck. But yeah, Husk Crafts reached out like once he caught wind that we were doing the showcase, showed us some early footage. I immediately was like, I asked Kyle, I was like, hey, this looks sick as hell. Could we just offer them the spot? Kyle said, hell yeah. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to show off this brand new trailer for Rogue Eclipse. I'm very excited to play.
And again, shout out to what Outer Sloth is doing by helping out other games.
Becca, interview, anything like that?
To be determined.
Okay, TBD.
But this next one,
up.
while we were going through submissions, I believe one Becca Smith said this is 6-1 indie in game, and we had to have it.
What's funny is that I went to go get lunch while you guys were going through submissions, and I got back and you were both like, you have to watch this trailer that you missed because it's pretty much definitely an in. So
yeah, we're also very nervous that Becca's gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
That has happened before.
It has happened before.
So I'm glad Becca understood the assignment this time around. Or maybe just more tolerant of us. I don't know. Yeah, of course, this is Glitch Spanker from the Classified X. I mean,
evil Furbies. Look at that. I love it.
Becca, would you like to take it away? I believe you played the demo, right?
Yeah. So the demo is so good. So you start out in this kid's bedroom, and immediately I'm caught off guard because you're looking around and stuff, and you can interact with certain things. And then in the background, you just hear a Furby say something like, I will kill you in your sleep, or something like that. It's so disturbing. But then when you get into the game, you're kind of playing through different kind of mini games. There's the main scenario where you're slapping things to find, oh my God, Spunk? I'm pretty sure his name is.
I believe so.
So it's kind of hidden object in certain ways where you're trying to find him, and so you slap him and he gets really mad. But then there's also different ways that you can go in the story, and so there's one where you're you're doing a rhythm game in a club where there's people with really big badonkadonks that you can slap. There's a Dark Souls boss at one point. There's a tower defense level where a bunch of tiny spunks and really big spunks are coming for your castle, and you're having to slap them away. So it's just so good, and there's going to be tons more content. I did the interview with them, and it's one of my favorite interviews. All the interviews are wonderful, but it's one of my favorite interviews because one of the questions I asked, they answered in a really wonderful way. So definitely read all the interviews, but definitely read this one because they're brilliant. But yeah, the demo, I think there was 5 different endings in the demo, and the developer said that it's not even any of the true endings that you get in the actual game. So even just the effort that they put into just the demo is so good.
I love it. I just love having this giant rubber bendy hand just smack things.
The physics of it are so good.
Yeah, when we were planning the film shoot, the original idea was to make one of those, and we were gonna whip it around during the set. I would have probably smacked Kyle with it, or Kyle would have smacked me with it.
No, you would have smacked me. We all know how that would have went.
No, you could have got your payback.
No, but I think the next bit is it filled that void.
So, I mean, before we do that, just to analyze the show here. So the original idea was for it to be a sock puppet, probably a white sock puppet, so it was easy to draw eyes on it with a Sharpie.
Just really quickly, Mike, new profile picture right here for you.
Yeah, 100%.
So I quickly realized after I got to New York, or like as I was packing and stuff, I don't own any white socks. I just primarily wear black socks. So I went to the Walgreens because for whatever reason I thought Walgreens would be a great place to shop for socks. The Walgreens that's in Penn Station, before I met with Kyle and Harry, see if they had white socks available. They had like the compression socks. I wasn't about to spend $45 to ruin a sock for a quick 3-second bit.
Yeah,
$45.
Yeah, dude, compression socks very expensive.
That's crazy.
Especially Midtown Manhattan at a Walgreens at the train station. Yeah, crazy. They feel great though. So yeah, I just pulled my sweaty ass sock out of my off my shoe, and yeah, hopefully it's portrayed as a sock puppet. It just looks like a void. But yeah,
because the idea was I was gonna have the sock puppet on my hand, and then
but I didn't
when
want.
You're like, it's from my foot. I'm not gonna have you put my sweaty ass sock in your hand. I was like, thank God.
Yeah. Anyways, this is for Guilty as Sock. Guilty as Sock by Demon Max. Another one that was an instant hell yeah. Jackbox like kind of experience where it seems like you're presenting a case, and yeah, just a party game.
You sue your friends.
Very excited for it. Yeah, sue your friends. Not up to 9 at once. Look at that.
I did do an interview with them as well, so if you want more details, you can read up on it.
Yeah, and I think it's out soon-ish, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. Yeah, next week. Look at that.
God, that's next week. Ugh.
It's next week. It sure is. There's a lot of video games.
I'm so behind.
Speaking of tomorrow, Grandma No from Wall Ride Games and Super Rare Games. Yeah, just chaotic sandbox where you play as a grandmother just wrecking shop. Another one. I think this was Harry's like put his foot down of like, we need to have grandma.
We need grandma.
Gives me Pee-wee's vibes.
Yeah, Pee-wee vibes.
Especially like the possum family.
Another like similar to Leftovers. Like I could see like, Cartoon Network-y, like crude humor kind of vibes. Maybe like very Nickelodeon.
I love her little feet.
Yeah, it's just
there's
oh my God.
Also love Punk Grandma. She's here. Also something we picked up, like I think it was during the preview screening. The costumes affect what's happening in like around you. So like the no glasses blurs everything for a second. Very interesting.
Wow.
That's a very cute touch.
Sweet. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's out tomorrow. I was a lot of these showcase games, again, like not really on purpose, but we got so many games that are out like very quickly.
Yeah.
Like very soon. It's nice that like I think that's a behind the scenes thing also. We do ask for release dates or planned release dates, and we try our best to fit things within like a showcase era, like a showcase cycle. So like primarily a lot of these things, save for a few things, but a lot of these things are before our September show. And yes, we did publicly say September. We didn't put an exact date, but before the September show. Will we stay in September? Who's to say? But yeah. Grandma No, out tomorrow. Building Relationships from 10 at Games. Very happy that we got Building Relationships. I met the dev at SGF last year. One of the sweetest human beings, and just understands what it takes to make a sicko game. Like house smooching.
This is so good. This is like, it's like one of my dream games. It's like a dating sim, but with inanimate objects. I just love it. I did do an interview, so be sure to check that out because there's a little bit more detail in there about what you can expect from the game. But in the demo that I played, you take one or both of the buildings, I can't remember, on a date, and the date is like building furniture. So I just think that's so brilliant. And then like the fishing is you're fishing, but like, and it's like Stardew Valley style, but you're fishing for cars, which just like makes no sense, but also makes complete sense. Like it's just, I don't know. I think they mentioned in the interview that like they kind of wanted to have more options for romancing, but also didn't want it to be like a huge thing. So I think you can romance just 2 characters in the game, so it's not going to be too overwhelming or anything like that. But yeah, the windmill is really sexy, so I'm excited.
Box quote. Next up is our checkpoint. We're officially halfway through the main show, and the wonderful Coco Confession guest spotted here to talk about Gay Monta and Lupus, an organization similar to Extra Life. I think it's probably the best way to equate it, where a group of streamers get together on a weekend and raise money for lupus awareness. I mentioned it during the show that it's a cause that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I didn't want to expound on it during the showcase. But yeah, my mom has lupus. It's something we deal with like on the daily. It's not fun. So genuinely super glad that shout out to Shar from Women Like Games for making this connection. The streaming weekend already happened, but in May, so like you still have like a week, head on over to lupus.org. You could donate to a fantastic cause. And like personally, like I said, no bullshit, would personally mean the world to me. Because yeah, I know how not great lupus could be and how much it could affect not only the individuals, but the folks around them. So shout out to Coco Confession for doing this for us. Appreciate it immensely. Next up, probably one of them, the what the fuck moments during the preview screening. Yeah, that's right. We got Hotel Barcelona, Cult Games, of course, Swery and Suda51. What is Hotel Barcelona? I wish I could tell you. It's one of those games. I have no fucking clue what's going on, but it looks punk rock as fuck, and I can't wait to play it. It's Swery, it's Suda.
Exactly. With any Swery in the game, does anyone really know what's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, I can kind of tell you.
Kind of tell us. Go for it.
I did an interview with the devs, so I kind of know a little bit. I'm gonna screw it up because you just blame it on my sick brain. But the main character has like a serial killer in her head, and so he's kind of like, she's trying to. There's like 7 killers in the hotel. I don't know if any of this is accurate now. I went in so confident. Now I don't know if any of this is accurate. But all I know is that she basically like has a serial killer in her head, like telling her different things, and you're also fighting like serial killers, and everything is kind of inspired by like horror movies and things like that. So it's definitely like totally up our alley. He did mention that like there's no like specific horror movies that inspired it, so you're not going to be like, oh, that's clearly inspired by Halloween or anything like that, but it's just kind of inspired by like the serial killer slasher kind of genre.
Wait,
I hope that helped.
Yeah, it helps. For a Suda Swery game, yeah, it helps. Again, like fucking bonkers that we got this video game.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Like this is one of the pie in the sky ones where like I would have reached out to them if I knew we had a chance, but they submitted to us.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very cool. Next up, Rue Valley. This is from Owlcat Games. Yeah, Kyle was really into this and like very, very much fought for this even before they submitted. Like you put this on.
Yeah. So
Tegan,
aka Lightweight Games, who's one of my co-hosts in the chat room.
Heard of him.
What was that?
I heard of that podcast.
Oh yeah,
I heard of Lightweight.
Yeah. Light's great. The podcast, it's fine.
Yeah.
She played this a few months ago and absolutely loved it and told me about it, and I looked into it, and as you can tell if you're watching the podcast right here, it's visually stunning. It's very much like Disco Elysium and that kind of like narrative style of game, and I'm very eager to get into it. With the seemingly time loop situation going on. So is this one, Becca, that you got a chance to play / interview?
Yeah. Yes, both actually.
Sweet.
So in Rue Valley at the beginning, Mike has gone away, so sorry about the trailer. Yeah. We're super organized at all times. in the beginning, you like, I don't know if this is how it will work with like each day of the time loop or things like that. I'm not quite sure. But at the beginning of the demo, you like pick your stats. And I wasn't really sure what I was doing at the time. So I put most of my stuff towards like indifference. So then you'll see based off of your conversations and the answers that you can give, how your choices affect like the options that you have. So most of the time, because I had put like all of my stats into indifference, most of the time my character was like, yeah, whatever, to like everything because he's so completely indifferent about everything. So I think it'll be really, really intriguing to see how choosing different stats will kind of make it so that you have completely different dialogue options from the options that you had in like your previous playthrough or like a previous day. If it's something where like you can change those stats like through different loops and things like that, it'll be really interesting. I didn't get to go too much into that, but yeah, other than that, it just kind of plays like a playable comic book, and it's really, really gorgeous.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. If I may provide context here, we have painters, and Becca knows this.
Yeah.
We have painters painting the outside for the past few days now. 2 little kittens. They could get through windows. They could get through doors. So we've been on kitten alert. Very overwhelming. Had to have them locked in with me for the past few hours. Turn off the fan. Gets very warm in this room. I ran out of water. It do be sweltering in here. So hey, cheers.
Liquid death or Celsius? What are we talking about? Okay.
Liquid death.
Thank God.
No, this is already done. Whoop. Oh, missed that airball. Next up, we got the one and only Bastinus Rex with Karimata, Beneath the Forlorn Limbs. Another one, obviously, an immediate fuck yes.
Yes.
But we love Bastinus. Well, we love Bastinus Rex. We love Bastion. Trip. We had the last showcase, September.
I believe it was the last one, yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe this man is already working on another video game when the other video game is not out yet. Yeah, Bastion, Karimata just looks incredible. It looks like, again, a 6-1 indie ass video game that's dark, creepy, love short games. So, yeah, another one that was like a quick, immediate yes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a short banger from what we hear. So make sure you play this one.
I'm almost done with this.
Coming soon. Nice.
Sorry.
Do you have the full build?
I think so. I haven't gotten to the end yet, so I don't know. But I've played a lot of it. It feels like a full build. But yeah, no. You just like kind of play as this character. You like wake up in this like cabin with this creepy lady, and she's like, "There's a monster in the basement. Can you like get rid of it or something?" I can't remember what she asked you to do. But then you can look at different objects, and if you like, for example, look at like a computer keyboard, which is not something you would find in the game, it's just in front of me, and then you'll have a card that says like keyboard, and you can hold on to it, or you'll have a card that says like creepy witch, and you'll have like her card or whatever. And so your goal is to dismiss whatever creature is staying in her basement by like finding out what killed it and how, and with what, I think maybe like who killed it, how and why, or something like that. So it's kind of like a little like, it's kind of like a little clue who done it kind of situation, but you're able to kind of go around the environment and use your cards to like unlock new cards to try to find the cards that the creature wants. It's a really interesting game. It looks so good. And he actually used, which you can find out more about in the interview, he used like his own sounds. He like recorded like frogs chirping and stuff from like his hometown to like
I love that,
create some of these sounds and stuff like that. That's so great. Yeah, it's really cool.
Hell yeah. So yeah, you mentioned the look. Like I don't know how this man makes video games.
It's so good.
And it is like, wild how this game looks.
Like a similar style, but also completely different from Trip, which I think is really incredible.
Yeah, it's like you can see the similarities in like sort of like the core character models, but like it's so wildly different than what we saw from that Trip trailer that we debuted.
Yeah,
it's wild what this game looks like, and even like just the grayscale with like the splashes of red. Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Also, really cool thing to add to the end of the trailer.
Yeah, very sweet. He did not have to do that.
Push that out to us saying thanks to us, like
yeah.
Right back at you.
Bastion. Yeah, Bastion's the loveliest human being out there. Next up, a weird one. Another new for us, or first for a new for us, another first for us. Battle Verses from BLE Studios, aka our friend Asa, working on a tabletop game. Another one that we kind of greenlit before we opened up submissions. We knew Asa's been grinding away at this game for quite some time now. He sat down with us in like a call, like maybe sometime in February before we opened up submissions, or January. And like he was very much pitching the game to us, and it's like, Asa, A, we know. B, you're a friend, you're in. Like, we want to help you out as much as we can. So credit to Asa for pulling a trailer together for a tabletop game, because Asa, very much solo dev, has a full-time day job. I cannot like Asa was like kind of asked like what he thought a trailer should be, and like I couldn't help. I have no idea what the fuck a trailer for a tabletop game should be. So yeah, I think he mentioned the trailer was made by like a student at near his local college. And then yeah, of course, Asa popped up afterwards to give a little context of like what the gameplay is like. TLDR very much trying to break the mold between video game and tabletop game, using video game mechanics in a tabletop setting. Really interesting, really cool. From what we haven't had a chance to play it yet, because he primarily demoed it at like PAX Unplugged. And we haven't crossed paths at Unplugged yet, where he's been demoing.
Mm-hmm.
But from what we heard from friends playing it and demoing it, it's really damn fun. I'm excited to check it out. And of course, Kickstarter is the Kickstarter's page should be out now by the time you're listening to this.
Yeah, it should be.
If you go to 618d.com/showcase, click the Battle Versus key art, it'll send you to the Kickstarter.
He was also a nervous wreck all PAX East, because nobody really knew that he was in it, and we've known Asa for a few years now, and we love Asa a whole lot. And really cool that we were another one similar to the vinyl thing of like some not video game, it's a board game, it's adjacent, but like any chance we get to highlight our friends and dope people and their stuff, I wanna do. So I love that we got to do this for him.
And I think it was like after we did our first and only PAX Unplugged. No, we did multiple. Did we two PAX Unplugs? I don't know.
I was only at one. I think Harry went to a couple.
Maybe we only did the one, like me and you and Kelsey. But Harry's done multiple. We like always like kind of play around with the idea of like what could we do for the tabletop indie scene as well. So I'm glad we were able to do this with Asa, for like Asa helping us out, being like kind of the test run of like dipping our toes in the tabletop waters. So what this means for the future, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, very cool that we're able to do this. And again, Asa for trusting us. Quick little side story. During PAX, of course, Asa is part of a larger friend group that we all have. We were trying our best to leave it a surprise for our friends who were coming to the preview screening, the Friends and Family screening. And I popped into the media room where Asa and one Jacob McCourt were sitting, chatting, hanging out. I was going to say hi, hanging out, what's up? We were just chatting about the preview screening, whatever. And Asa started talking about it, and I tried to go behind Jacob to be like, he doesn't know. And Asa was like, oh, you know I'm in the showcase, right? And we were trying very hard to leave that a surprise for Jacob in particular.
Yeah.
Because Jacob gets really hyped up about like just his friends and the wins his friends get. But it was a very funny like realization moment, like mind-blowing moment.
And then you text me that, and I beelined it to the media room, and I just stood there shaking my head like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Next up, some new friends we met at DreamHack in October. A week in the life of an asocial giraffe from Quail Button. Becca, I've been talking a lot. Go for it.
So yeah, we met this team at DreamHack, and me and Harry played the demo with Kyle and Mike hovering, and it's such a great concept, especially for someone like me who's incredibly antisocial and like has to, like, when I make a phone call, I have to like write out a script before I like press dial, that kind of a thing. So yeah, you play as like a giraffe who basically doesn't want to talk to anybody, but he lives in like the friendliest city ever, so everybody wants to talk. So the goal is to basically try to avoid people, but to get your like daily chores done. So it's really great, and his head literally explodes if he like starts talking to people. So that's so good. But it plays like your classic point and click. It's really clever. It's also like super simplistic, but that's what makes you feel like an idiot when you can't figure out how to like solve the puzzle. There was one puzzle in the grocery store that both me and Harry got kind of hung up on for a little bit. But yeah, it just like reminds us of like the old classic point and click like puzzly games, and it seems just like such a super simple concept, but so relatable and wonderful. And the team is super sweet. I did do an interview with them, and there should be a preview up as well for the demo. But yeah, they're really nice people. We're excited that they submitted. We were super excited to see them on the list.
Absolutely. Visually, it reminds me, and I feel like we brought this up when we talked about our DreamHack adventures. What the little carpet with the worm and the apple car, like old school cartoon. What is
Tony Soprano?
Yeah, that one. It reminds me a lot of like like cartoons, like the Highlight magazine kind of visual. That I love so very much.
Kalu. Is that a man's name?
That is the bald baby. Hold on.
Yeah, that is the bald baby. Yeah.
Worm in apple car.
Worm in apple car.
Lowly worm. Oh, Richard Scarry.
Richard Scarry
characters. It reminds me a lot of. And
I gotta tell you, it's completely unrelated. But Richard Scarry, I had no idea what it was. But do you guys remember the Sega Pico from like the 90s? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a Richard Scarry game on the Sega Pico. So when I first saw Richard Scarry like as an adult, I was like, it was like that Spider-Man meme. I was like, wait a second, that's like a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that was just like a Sega Pico thing. But I love Richard Scarry so much.
Yeah.
I had a similar, way more niche moment like that where there was a Richard Scarry coin-op like ride that like, you know, if the kid or if the parents want to go drink in the bar, they drop off the kids at these little stupid coin-op rides. There's one of those at the Red Rooster in Brewster, New York, a lovely establishment, drive-in mini golf fast food joint. But yeah, there's a Richard Scarry coin-op ride. And yeah, when I realized it was not just a random ass worm that you could ride, but it was like this whole thing. It's like, oh shit. That fucking guy.
Richard Scarry brings us all together.
Yep, look at that. I had no transition. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This whole block of games doesn't really have a transition. So
Inkshade from Studio Vizel. Another immediate hell yeah. It's very obviously Inscription vibes, like with like little tabletop dioramas. I'm very intrigued to see or just to get my hands on this game. I'm very interested to see like what the game to play moments are. Becca, did you play this one?
I played a little bit. I didn't play enough that I'm confident telling you what it's like, but
sick.
Because I got kind of stuck pretty early on. But yeah, no, it immediately has that Inscription vibe. I love like the dark kind of art style. So you kind of are always thinking that something's going to kind of pop out at you and things like that. Really, really like the look of it. And it definitely is my kind of game.
Yep. Very excited to check it out. Next up is Kajora from Soft Source. Becca, have at it.
Yes. I think this was one of my like instant green lights if we had to choose one. Because I actually covered when they were in Next Fest in February ? Yes. I think I was like I was at Mike's. I was visiting Mike and Kelsey. And Mike gave me free reign of his Steam Deck. And so I just downloaded like a ton of demos and played a bunch of demos. And this one really stuck out. So I did a full preview of it, of the demo. And it's so cool. I love the Ghibli vibe. It's kind of like got your classic puzzle platformer controls. It's the main character is Kajora, and then she has her two friends that both have their own abilities. One character can like push and pull things that are heavy, and one character has like a slingshot and things like that. So you just kind of play as these little kids, and you're stuck in a time loop. But there's also like these Studio Ghibli-esque kind of melty monsters that are just really cool. So there's kind of stealth elements towards the end of the demo. Excuse me. Towards the end of the demo. And it gets like pretty creepy and scary, and you get kind of worried for these kids, but yeah, they're kind of stuck in this time loop, and so there's this really interesting story, and other than that, it just plays like your classic puzzle platformer, and it's really satisfying.
I wish I remembered to say hi to them at PAX East.
Yeah, we didn't realize they were at, I forgot, like we chatted before PAX, and then just totally like, I think we just got caught up in like the PAX East craze.
On the train ride home, I was like, damn it.
I didn't even see their booth.
I didn't either, but I knew that they were there, and I'm bummed that we didn't get to go say hi.
It's a big area. It's easy to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we got One Way Home from Cyberhead. Another game that submitted a while back, but I think just like full transparency, like back when he initially submitted, it was definitely a little too early. I think so. It must have been like at least like a year ago now. And man, submitted again, and the footage that we saw just night and day, and like we knew, like, man, it's time. Like this game looks so sick. If you like your insides, your limbos, even a little bit of Concrete Genie, this game looks stellar.
Yeah, I have no notes to add. Like,
great.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
And while we're waiting for whatever Playdead is doing, there's plenty of other games like Kajora and this one that are doing similar things in fun and interesting ways. And
a super nice dev, by the way. Like, not that all of the devs aren't incredibly nice. We've had incredibly nice devs, but this dev in particular, very thankful and thanks us a lot and stuff like that. And we're like, dude, thank you for being a part of it.
Oh my god. You know, I think that's kind of a misconception. Like I appreciate the gratitude from the developers, but no, it's like sincerely, no, thank y'all for trusting us with your babies. Like that's there's a reason we say that during our outro. It's like it takes a lot of courage and a lot of vulnerability to put your games out to the masses, and I'm just so grateful that folks trust us to help facilitate that.
Especially because, like, in the grand scheme of things, we are like, we're small fry. We're getting
Peons.
there, but like, who are we to a lot of folks still? Yeah. So just what allowing us to share anything at all is awesome.
Next up, Kyle scares the shit out of me because we didn't really know what else to write for this segment because it's a hodgepodge segment.
So a few weeks ago, I tweeted out the screenshot of me flying in, and it was blurry. I was like, hey, 100 points so everyone can guess what's happening here. There's your answer.
Next up, we got Mouse PI for Hire from Fumi Games and Playside. Another one that I feel like people are going to be like, what the fuck? Not a new trailer, full disclosure, but I'm just grateful that we're able to just get Mouse in here because Mouse, something we've all been very much anticipating for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Incredible looking FPS with that
Bioshocky
Mickey Mouse style. Bioshocky, yeah.
Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse style.
Let's go.
Shooter. Come on.
Yeah. I think Bioshock is an interesting pull, like especially like this trailer showing off all the different weapons and whatnot. I feel like it's very similar to like
Infinite.
Tonics. Well, yeah, Infinite, but also like the Tonics that you get to mess around with, like different powers and whatnot.
Yeah. Like the health meter in the bottom left reminds you a lot of like the Tonic ads.
Yeah, very excited for Mouse.
Yep.
Next up, we got Kabuto Park from Tiny Games, Indie Game Awards nominee. Very excited for this. Just a bug catching adventure. I think also out soon-ish, maybe.
Just wait till the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
What was their other one?
Manami
Lane.
Manami Lane. Yeah.
Manamina.
Lane. Yeah. Lovely little bug catching adventure. Which is out May 28th next week. Another next week. There's so many next week games.
Next week.
So if you're following along, that's Guilty as Sock. That's Kabuto Park. That is Grandma No. Oh, no, Grandma No is out tomorrow, technically.
Yeah.
There's another one that I think it's May 29th. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's funny our like mental state during this entire process. Like we knew this, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just remembering it now. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
There's only so much that my brain could retain in the months that are happening currently where I struggle to speak English words.
We're recording this 2 days before the showcase is live and people are watching.
Yeah.
Until that is over, everything's still kind of up in the air for me.
Dude, May 23rd, the recycling bin, I hit empty trash. I right click this shit and hit empty trash.
And guys, next fest is in like 2 weeks.
Stop, Becca. Becca, stop.
Becca, Next Fest is a you problem. SGF is a us problem. All right. And we'll reconvene on June 16th. All right.
Yeah.
Please make it stop. Someone send help. I love Kabuto Park. I don't like bugs,
yeah, go for
but
it.
I like Kabuto Park.
Another one that
great assessment.
It got a nice pop during the preview too. I think Jenny was like, "Oh, how you know, kind of talking about how cute it was."
Next up was another immediate yes. It's The Wide Open Sky is running out of catfish from Zip It Games.
Hell yeah.
We're all Pokemon Snap sickos. We're all just weird, crunchy sickos. Yeah, make me a little witch. Put me on a bed catfish. Let me take pictures of weird fish.
There's like
all about
there's
it.
like computer chatting. Like you have like an AIM account. It's not exactly AIM, but you know, cause copyright or whatever. But you know, it's like a chatting service, and you just talk to your friends with the computer, and then you can fly around as a fish, and take pictures of things, and it's really sweet and fun. It's really interesting because I'm trying not to talk as much because I don't know if you can tell my voice is getting higher and higher because it's the only way that I can talk. But it's really interesting because your friends like know where you are and they know that you're out like on top of a flying catfish, and it's just kind of like normal, like not super normal. They're like weird that you're still up there or whatever, but it's like not completely out of the realm of like possibility in this world. So I'm really, really intrigued to see kind of how the story building goes. Like it's not completely unnormal for you for the fact that like you're living on a catfish. So it's really interesting.
I forgot who said it, but when this came across in the submissions, I think whoever it was, credit to whoever, said this is exactly why we do these showcases, is for these kind of games where it's just so interesting, it's so fucking weird, it's so quirky, and I feel like nobody would have really given it the shot. And it deserves a shot. They are fantastic human beings, and the game looks, I haven't played it yet, but it's very fun, very good.
Excuse me.
Next up, going back to what I said about giving devs the reins to do whatever the hell they want, Forbidden Solitaire from Night Signal Entertainment. I'm so happy they submitted. Not a new trailer for us, but this is the first showcase it's popping up on. Made waves on socials when it got initially announced earlier in the year at some point. Solitaire with FMV elements, a little bit of like fourth wall breaking, where like the game Forbidden Solitaire that you are playing is an actual video game from the 90s, and it was like banned because it's hyper violent and weird. I'm so excited for this game. Night Signal Entertainment is incredible. Home Safety Hotline devs. And I am blanking on the other developer's name. If somebody else wants to talk about this game while I look it up.
Sure.
Or not.
I can do that. The thing I love about just the aesthetic overall, this might be a very specific reference for a very targeted group of people. It reminds me a whole lot of walking down the Walmart gaming aisles and seeing the PC games cover arts of like the video games in one, of like these kind of throwaway PC titles, because that's the vibe they're going for. It's a game that a fake game that they're presenting. It was a real game in the 90s, and they're nailing the whole vibe and look of it, and I love Solitaire. So any other tweak on Solitaire similar to like what Balatro did for poker and roguelikes, I'm excited for what they do with Solitaire.
I don't know why that made me giggle so much. I love Solitaire.
I love Solitaire.
Speaking of Solitaire, Gray Alien Games Gray Alien Games, devs behind Ancient Enemy, they're kind of taking lead on the Solitaire aspect of Forbidden Solitaire, and then Night Signal Entertainment of Home Safety Hotline doing kind of like the narrative aura vibe segment.
Yeah. We saw their game announcement, Forbidden Solitaire, on Blue Sky.
Yep.
And then hype. And then they showed up on the submission form, and there was extra hype. So this was a really exciting one for us.
Yeah. Very cool. Another one that was like last minute hype, quite a ride from Goodwin Games. So this is an interesting behind the scenes thing. So Goodwin Games, developer behind Self Loss, that came out last year, Indie Game Awards nominee for Emotional Impact. I follow him on TikTok. I saw that he was like working on. I saw clips of this game, working on something. Didn't think it would be ready anytime soon, and then I saw that he launched the Steam page, and like the trailer got placed to like IGN ran a story on the trailer, and like it's out there. So like I think it was like a couple days before we were about to film our segments. I just shot my shot. I shot Alex. I believe Alex Goodwin. Apologies, Goodwin Games. If our first name's not Alex, I'm very tired. Shot him an email because we were still in the thread from the Indie Game Awards. I was like, hey, notice you announced this game. Congratulations. We're doing the showcase. Would love to feature it. Like, please. And immediately responded. He was like, yeah, what do you need? And I said, just give me what you got. I don't need anything specific. Don't need exclusives. I just like, if you want to just give me that trailer, great. And yeah, I'm so glad we were able to signal boost it. The trailer's fucking stellar. This game looks incredible. Like similar to Self Loss, this immediately shot up to like one of my most anticipated games in general whenever this decides to launch. Can't wait.
Yeah, this reminds me of like Pacific Drive with a bike instead of a car. Like it just looks so intriguing. And I love the universe that's being built here. That's very like War of the Worlds with these huge monstrosities and things like that. This looks like it's going to be epic.
My favorite thing this trailer does, and I'm going to use a gaming buzzword to describe this. I am so immersed to watching this trailer. The fact that when it pops up and says, don't look behind you, they're right there, or something similar to that. The little hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. Like it feels like something very eerie is right behind me. It invokes that vibe so effortlessly in this trailer. And like, I'm so happy you reached out, Mike, because this is a stellar trailer for the showcase.
Yeah, it's special. And like, yeah, the Goodwin Games just personally means a lot to me, just because Self Loss was my first ever. I think it was when it was called Nexus. When Nexus first begun, the demo for Self Loss was a part of that first round. Playing that game during lockdown and completely making me break down, like after getting let go and all that kind of stuff, and like feeling so isolated. So a nice like full circle moment of course it was like kind of full circle of nominating Self Loss last year for Indie Game Awards, but now this like being able to include the next project in one of our shows. Incredible stuff. So super appreciative of Alex over there for just answering quickly and just being down to just
At least we think it's Alex.
I'm pretty sure. It's Alex Goodwin. Again, apologies. I'm very tired.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Next up for me was a immediate yes. So this is obviously our horror block. Next up is Benny
You
Bash.
don't say.
From Eduardo Scarpato. Another Inscription like, of course, we're starting to get to the phase where there's a lot of Inscription likes coming out there, and we wanted to make sure we were careful with our choices with the curation, because obviously we don't want too many similar games. Thankfully, Benny Bash is doing something completely different than Inkshade, where this is Inscription, but it's Mario 3.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a brilliant concept. And I love this shot right here with Benny's 3D model. And I love that we're really leaning into like the Super Mario 64, like be able to stretch the skin kind of thing. I really hope when we dig into this game, there is like a mini game option kind of thing where you could just like fuck around with the face and maybe Benny gets pissed. Eduardo, take notes. But yeah, it looks wild. I can't wait to play this.
It's really scary. I didn't like it. No, it's like I didn't like it in a good way, because it's scary. But yeah, it just reminds me how bad I am at Mario games. And yeah, I want to play more of it, but I don't like the voice of the guy. It's really creepy, and yeah, it's just genuinely really terrifying. I hated it.
Next up in our horror
really
bonanza,
quickly, shout out to the Mario font, by the way.
Shout out to the Mario font. Big shout out. Great choice. Also, Nintendo, be cool.
Yeah, be cool.
Next up, another game we didn't have much context for, but like it was very early footage and just like conceptual stuff. Video Ghastlies from Oro Interactive. Not much here, very much a teaser of teasers, but some of the footage that we saw that is kind of wrapped up in this trailer. You were changing tapes, and the tapes reflected on the TV screen. You could go into those worlds. So like you saw, there was the old school 40s scratchy like Frankenstein monster setting. I can't, whatever like this ends up being, I can't fucking wait for this video game.
Yeah, this looks cool, and I believe it's a survival horror game. So you'll be shooting and what just happened? You okay, Mike?
Yeah, no, I messed up. It's fine.
Okay, I was like, oh, did you find a mistake? I was like, yeah,
Found a mistake. Too late. Who cares?
That's what I mean. That's what I didn't see what happened. But yeah, Video Ghastly is just on the small little footage, and like you can see this in the trailer. It's so intriguing.
Yeah,
and like I purposely, because I knew it was happening, I'm purposely looking out for the little hand on the side of the screen.
Yeah, it's such a great. I love that little
hidden
trick.
so well, and they use the cut so well. It's fantastic. What does that say?
Yeah, it's
the White House protection system.
White House protection system.
Okay.
Yeah, I like little teases in here.
Little teases.
Yeah, I really like that kind of trick where like something is like always present in frame, but you don't notice it until it moves. What's that Netflix movie I really like by that director?
The Ritual?
Yes, oh my god, I love you so much. The Ritual.
The Ritual's awesome.
I love The Ritual.
Man, fucking soulmates. What's that movie from that guy I really like? The Ritual? Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't say Netflix, I was lost. You said Netflix?
Sure.
I knew.
The Ritual does a lot of that. I'm blanking on the director's name, but like there's a shot in The Ritual where like the protagonist is like in a forest and he's just staring out into the distance, and you just have this like environmental shot for a solid like 5 seconds.
David Bruckner,
thank you. And suddenly like you like there's just trees, and then suddenly you see the hand getting wiped away from the tree, and it's like, oh fuck, the hand was there the entire time. That is so creepy.
Yeah.
I love that they use that trick here, and I really hope that's like in some of the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Blue Ridge Hunting from One Jade Meadows. Of course, it was at the preview screening. I want a major fucking pop.
Yeah, I want to stop you right there before we get into it. This game was already cool. I'm happy we had it. Meeting Jade in person and learning more about Jade makes me love this even more. Jade's only 19, y'all. That's insane.
I can't. Jade is accomplishing more at 19 than I have ever done at 33.
Yeah, for real.
Like I can't believe like this game looks incredible. Another one that I haven't locked and loaded on my Steam Deck. Becca and I were trying to play together, but I'm very bad at playing video games, and we have not had a chance to play together. Turns out, surprise. Yeah, it just looks sick as hell. Obviously, I'm a big fan of crunchy horror. This is crunchy as all heck. I love weird cryptid stories where you're hunting Mothmen and Sasquatch and the frogmen, stuff like that. Can't wait for this. You could call this phone number, by the way, or Please so do. I've been told. Maybe you should try. Why not? Just try it out. But yeah, it was a delight to.
Jade called it during the preview at PAX.
I did hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you want to call it now? I can call it.
Here. Sure, if you want to.
Where's my phone?
I got it.
Ban for a second while I dial.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Yes.
Just the co-op nature of it all is a big theme on Steam these days. You think of Repo. Yeah, Phasmophobia. Content warning. So like to have it be like a horror cryptic hunting style game is super cool.
Thank you for calling Jude's Cabin, local bar and home of the Appalachian Investigation Group. We're out busy monster hunting right now, so give us a call back later. And remember to wish list Blue Ridge Hunting on Steam. Bye-bye.
Incredible.
Amazing.
That's fun.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Also, 19 years old, and you thought about doing that?
Exactly.
I'm not that creative. Jesus. But yeah, it was also just a delight to like hang out with Jade for a little bit and get to know her, and hopefully help her make some connections that will be impactful for Blue Ridge in the future. But yeah, I'm very excited to jump into this. Again, like something quickly as soon as it popped onto our submission form, something that shot up to my like most anticipated kind of list. So very excited to have it on the show, to do like a proper world premiere for Jade, and yeah, and just to get to know Jade in general.
Can you kick it to my screen real quickly? Because this is one of the coolest things of the showcase cycle.
There we go.
She put our name in the game and made a little short video clip to promote the showcase. Cool. It's just cool.
Yeah, it's sick as fuck.
That is so cool.
Next up, and we're getting there, gamers. We're almost there. I'm also messing up my spreadsheet.
You saw the showcase. You know what's coming.
Pedal Runner from Nanopark Studios and I Am 8-Bit. Again, I think there's going to be a weird what the fuck moment when people see I Am 8-Bit on the screen. Been announced, not anything new, but I feel like a lot of people forgot about Pedal Runner since it was initially announced, I think, last year during the Day of the Dev. So it was just nice to have the opportunity to signal boost it again ahead of the SGF season. Yeah, very excited for this. Just a Pokemon-like RPG. Looks great.
It looks so good. I love this color palette.
Color palette's fantastic. Yeah. We're in like our retro section. So next up we got Oddbat from Summer House Games. Flappy Bird-esque platformer where you're a little bat vampire sucking on creatures.
With the downwell visual aesthetic of black
downwell
and white
visuals,
with like red pops, which is great.
Yeah, like a challenging platformer, precision platformer. Yeah, definitely something I think I was like really high on this when it came in on our submission form, and I like little weird 1-bit retro platformers. I really want to like get some of that representation in here, so I'm really stoked that we got Oddbat. Love this trailer, by the way. I think this trailer ends fantastically with like a little bit of humor. I also want to give a shout out to Mike Clancy. Shout out in general to Mike Clancy for editing this whole showcase and knocking it out of the fucking park. We sung his praises in the behind the scenes portion of the post show, which again you can find on patreon.com/61indie. Clancy DM'd us, or maybe DM'd me. He was like, "Hey, is this trailer like, is something going on with the music? It's like such a interesting syncopated soundtrack that it was like throwing Clancy off for a loop, and he was like so confused about what was going on." And like we had to do some like intense research of like, no, I think we're good. Like it's, you know, it's unlisted 7 months ago. I feel like they would have caught it. Like we should be fine. But yeah, just a funny little antidote. Nick? Anecdote? Artichoke? Anecdote. Becca, I'm tired.
Antidote. Like he was.
I need the antidote. Kid Bash Super Legend from Authentic Remixes. Another one that's crossed my feeds a long time ago and was never part of a show really. So which I'm very surprised about because the game looks fucking sick. Very much inspired by like the SNES claymation box arts from back in the day. Mega Man style like action platformer, but as a roguelike. Becca, you played this, I think?
I played so much of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I played what there was. There wasn't, there's not a ton. It's still in development and all that stuff. But yeah, what he sent over, I could not get enough of. It's so smooth. It's so interesting. I just love the look of it. I love this kind of like claymation style kind of look to it. It just feels like it feels just as smooth as like Super Smash Brothers in this way. But yeah, it's so good. You get to try out a couple of different weapons. I didn't get to do I kind of got to do a boss battle, but it's one of those ones where like you're supposed to die because like she kicks your ass. But yeah, there's different weapons and you can kind of pick what you like. So like I preferred it was kind of like a bubble launcher, but it was basically like a big gun. I preferred that to the sword. Just because I'm bad with combat and I was getting hit a lot with the sword, and the gun you can do range, and so it was easier. But this is so good. I don't know how to say it any differently. It's just it looks incredible. It feels incredible. I can't believe that it's not like already a finished product. It's so good.
Yeah. I think when I saw this on Twitter, however many fucking years ago at this point, probably like last year and a half, whatever. One of those reactions of like, this, no way in hell this is a functional video game. Just with how it looks. Like, can't believe like that was gameplay that we saw. So it's really delightful to hear that it hits.
Yeah.
And finally, the one more thing of the show.
Yeah.
Dino Blade from Team Spino LLC. Speaking of things that have been our radars forever, we mentioned
I'm actually going to try to find it in the
showcase.
Discord when we share.
Sure. Was it a Discord?
I think we did.
So, Dino Blade, Jean explains it in the showcase, but like Dino Blade was very much just like an animation project where he just wanted to like build out his portfolio and just make animated dinosaurs with big swords. I caught wind of him like I think like 2-ish years ago, 3 years ago. I was still living in New York. When it was back when like it wasn't a video game, so I was like kind of like bummed that like it wasn't a video game, but the reaction was just so feverish that he decided to make it into a game. And as soon as that confirmation came through, I either texted or DM'd or whatever Kyle, and I was like, hey, when it's ready, we need to reach out. And right before we opened up submissions, they put up the Steam page, put up a trailer, like they were ready to go, and shot him a message. And yeah, was down to close the show. And I'm so fucking happy that we got Dino Blade finally after years of like wanting this game in our show and specifically wanting it to close the show. I'm so happy we made it happen all these years later.
People really need to go on the TikTok and watch all the stuff that we were watching for years now. Because he sets it to like
it's all
Metal and Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's all Linkin Park.
So sick.
It's so sick. But yeah, big dinosaurs with big swords. Can't wait to play it. Yeah, what's not to like? I'm so grateful that we were able to give it like a proper world premiere, like in a showcase setting. So, hell yeah, stoked. I keep hitting restart on this thing.
Oh, that's what's happening.
But it's all right. That's what's it. Yeah, my chubby little fingers hitting the wrong buttons. That's it. Those are all 48 games. Of course, we end the show by saying Indie Game Awards are coming back in December. Showcase coming back again in September. DVD there, probably September, but you know, whatever, things happen. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But of course, we had a cheeky little post-credit scene. Of course, yeah. Shout out to all of our friends. Bam. There's a whole bunch of summer showcases happening during the SGF window. These are some of them. There are even more that probably are publicly announced at this point, but I don't want to say anything just in case. But yeah, The Mix, Wholesome Direct, Women-Led Games, Frosty Games Fest, South Asian Games Showcase, Latin American Games Showcase, Green Games Showcase, Black Voices in Games, Day of the Devs, and others will be happening during that SGF weekend. So please give them your love and attention. We'll be, as much as we can, we're going to be running around LA, but as much as we can, we're going to be in those chats watching as well. Good little asterisks here. Kyle and I will be at The Mix. So if you're at The Mix, say hello. It's a free public event. Come hang out. But yeah, we did have a little post-credit scene. Hold up, we have one more thing. We clicked the 6-1, and hey, guess what? 6-1 Publishing. It's happening. We'll have to. My brain can't handle getting too into it right now because it's very important. I want to do a dedicated like breakdown video of it. There is an interview with Insider Gaming during PAX East talking about 6-1 Publishing. I cannot remember what I said because I was hopped up on Red Bull mocktails.
Yeah.
But I think I said some okay stuff in there. But the TLDR, there are more and more games coming out day by day, but less people to cover them due to layoffs and a lot of the bullshit that's happening in the world. And we believe that we have the resources to offer indie devs to help them cross the finish line. And, specifically devs who like their games may be finished, but they don't have tens of thousands of dollars to spend on marketing. Maybe they don't have connections to do QA, localization, stuff like that. So I think we're in an interesting place where we have the ability to kind of blur the lines between like some of the media stuff, publishing, showcases, to bring games under the 6-1 Publishing wing and kind of like embed them into the ecosystem of like our showcases and like the content that we do and just what we do on a daily basis, and be really creative with really promoting games in a new, unorthodox, refreshing way. So yeah, this is something that a conversation I started with our partners at Vicarious like 2 years ago at this point now, just like something that was like, yeah, we'd love to do this if it ever happens, cool. And then like Kyle and I I was in New York ready to film with Kyle, and we got the green light to at least announce it. So we moved pretty quickly to get everything together. Again, shout out to Clancy for like already prepping this like little post-credit scene without getting the full confirmation. So yeah, excited to have the announcement out there that we could like start publicly talking about things. And yeah, more news soon. It's still very early days. This is very much like the announcement. But if you go to 61indie.com/publishing, there's some like information on there as well. Again, very tired, mouth don't work well, but information on 61indie.com/publishing.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I'm still trying to find what we chatted about Dino Blade.
Nah, it's fine.
I believe it was 2023. Yeah. Publishing stuff super exciting. Very scary. But I believe in us. We got this.
Yeah, we talked about it in the behind the scenes podcast again that you can find on patreon.com/61indie that if you would like to support and keep these showcases going. Yeah, we talked about how like we didn't know what the reaction would be, but everybody that we kind of like, obviously all the preview folks, but also some of the other folks who couldn't make it to a preview screening, and we just kind of like told on the side, all super excited. And the genuine or like the overarching reaction was like, oh yeah, this is the next logical step. You guys should be doing this. You could do publishing very well. So yeah, very excited to have it grow with a lot of our the games that we'll be helping out. Any final closing thoughts on the 61 Indie Showcase for May 2025?
Another showcase down. Shout out to all the devs who allowed us to share their beautiful, beautiful babies. And
they're so beautiful.
They're so beautiful. Those big, beautiful babies.
Those big, beautiful babies, the BBBs.
We'll see in a few months, I guess. Yes, wishlist the games for sure. Buy some of the ones that are out now or next week.
Join our Discord and let us know what you're thinking. We love talking to you guys. We have like a bunch of regulars that talk in the Discord a lot, but we'd love to hear from more of you about what you're playing and what you're recommending, because we do listen. Sometimes the news that I post comes from the Discord. It's just something I see on the Discord, and I'm like, that's great, and I'll pull it and post it on the website. So, we do read the messages every single day. We're on Discord constantly.
Hey, surprise, Harry's here.
Hey!
Hi, Harry!
Hello.
Harry, any closing thoughts on the showcase as we wrap up this podcast?
Well, first off, I would like to say we did a wonderful job.
Yay!
Yay! I just wanted to pop in because I just came back from work. I'm very tired and I have to leave in like 1 minute. But we did it. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate you.
Back at you, Harry.
Yeah. The L word, Mr. L. And other L words. But yeah, yay, you guys did it. And I am happy to say that I am on the podcast today.
Yeah.
You are officially on the podcast.
Hooray. That worked out really good if you're closing up.
Yeah, we're closing. Yeah, legit. I just asked like final thoughts.
Yeah, nice, warm and fuzzies. I can listen to as much as I can, but in about 3 minutes, I do actually have to log out.
Oh no, I very much need to get out of this chair. Okay. But yeah, like Becca said, I feel like we don't really promote the Discord too much, but yeah, join the Discord. There's a bunch of cool folks in there. We'll love to talk to more of you. And yeah, get your game recommendations and see what you're playing. Forgot to signal boost also the Steam event, which you can find on bit.ly/61May or just on 61indie.com/showcase. Hit the Steam button. In addition to all the games that you saw in the showcase, there are about 150 additional games that like just missed the cut for the video, but we still want to give some love. So games that are out now, games that have discounts, games that have demos, games that you should just wish list. So please dig super deep into that Steam event. That's something moving forward we're going to do more of just open up to about like 150 additional games aside from the ones that are in the showcase video.
Because it's really hard to cut down that list.
It's very hard to cut down the list.
There are so many incredible games. So we're really glad that we're able to have that Steam event so we can highlight the ones that like kind of just missed it.
Yeah. And of course, 620d.com/showcase for all of Becca's work. Please go read a bunch of incredible pieces. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll be back for the next one. Let us know your thoughts. Co-stream it. If you did co-stream it, share your links. We exhaustively watch all of them because not because we're narcissistic, but just because we like to see reactions. And yeah. The kittens are driving Kelsey crazy. So I need to leave and end this recording. Goodbye. Thank you so much for your love and support. We appreciate you endlessly for making our dreams a reality. Thank you. Goodbye.
Love you.